Sixers lost a 1-point loss. Kind of a moral victory there, I would say, a little bit. I mean, we looked great with the new coaching staff. Some guys filled in nicely. Kelly Oubre looked phenomenal. But yeah, I just kind of want to get your reaction on what you guys saw last night. What's to love, what's to not like, and what you saw based on the first game of the season, guys.
I mean, well, I guess I was encouraged that the fight was still there. I thought at one point we were just going to pack it in. We made a comeback, so I'm excited about that. I mean, I'm excited about the multiple amounts of guys scoring.
Yeah, that's nice.
That was encouraging. Thought we had a bad whistle at times, but not enough for me to think that that's why we lost the game. If I had any discouragement, it was kind of the same old feel of getting behind, making a comeback, losing in the end.
Yeah,
that's sort of been here for a while. You get a chance like that again. We got to win more of those games this year than lose them, I think, in order to kind of really catapult ourselves. And at the same time, especially that particular team that we know is going to be there in the end. So if we could have got a road win against them, and if it comes down to tiebreakers, that game can end up meeting more later in the year than obviously it does right now, as far as placement and stuff like that. But overall, not a bad start. I mean, you can't be overly excited without a win, but it was some encouragement, especially with the cloud that's still there. But I guess you feel better with a win, but hopefully it'll be carry over to game 2 and get the W in that game.
I think the victory parts of the players kind of got a visual and seeing that it can be okay without Harden. I think there was so much anticipation for this. How are we going to be with this cloud? How are we going to be without Harden? Can we do it? Like, as if he's been like a career Sixer or something. That was one of the best teams in the league with maybe the most hype of the offseason. So, they had a lot to come into. And for them to play that great, to win, I mean, their players had to play great, right, for them to win. It's not like Lillard had a bad game, and that's the reason why we kept it close, or Giannis was terrible. We kept it close. They played great. They had to win with Lillard taking 17 free throws. So I think it definitely allows us to be like, okay, we have a good team here. Other thoughts I have throughout the game. I think Embiid performed well below his level. I think if he performed like an MVP scoring champ, we would have won. He was careless with the ball. He had 7 turnovers. He has as many turnovers as he did rebounds. He looked a little gassed at times, which I kind of expected. He played one preseason game.
Not looked, he was.
Yeah, especially when we went up a little bit. He had a really bad couple series where he had the Brook Lopez top of the key where he didn't even make an attempt to close out. And then right after that, he had that like Andre Drummond impression where he just kind of just threw the ball to the middle of the court and got intercepted, and Crowder hit that 6-point swing right there. That was massive.
Yes.
I was just like,
that was a big part of their comeback.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was over. The swing happened there, and we just kind of didn't recover until we were down by like 5 at that point. That was huge for me. We missed a lot of free throws, which is not very characteristic of our team. We're actually a really good free throw shooting team. 19 of 28 is terrible. I wanted to see a little more of Springer. I thought he brought a good defensive energy to the first half. That two-handed block was pretty sick.
Yeah, I don't know how they can swing that with him. As much as they're playing Maxey, like I just don't know. And then you got Melton. Melton's going to have to play a good deal of minutes, and I think the way Kelly played kind of shook things up. The way he was scoring the basketball from the
That's
beginning.
very true. Yes. You have to keep playing him when he plays that way.
I think Springer. There'll be times where his minutes come up, but I thought in that particular game, you had to go back to that lineup. That was, because I thought PJ's minutes were a little cut because of that. Yeah.
He was getting in foul trouble too.
So, you brought him back in the end, but yeah, I think he'll have his chances. He'll definitely have his chance. Springer will have his chances.
Glad we brought up Oubre. Again, I want to go back to him maybe being one of the best Sixer offseason signings in a very, very long time. He's probably the best bench scorer we've had since Lou Williams.
Based on, this small sample size. I mean,
he's a 20-point scorer from last year. So, we did just bring on a 20-point scorer who's going to be on our bench, right? So, and he's not – like I told you last night, this is great, but get ready for a 2 of 13 type game in the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to be surprised by that either. I don't think you can do this every game, but that's what you want in your bench score, a guy who can just like go off, right? We haven't had that in a while. Dollar for dollar, I think he might be the best free agent signing of the offseason.
You mean all teams?
Any team. I know it's a very big statement, big hot take, but we're going dollar for dollar. That's the key there, right? So for what we gave,
I guess Laker fans, if you ask them, like every one of their free agents, was better than anything that anyone else signed.
Well, if you ask Laker fans, they want to trade D'Angelo Russell for like Donovan Mitchell straight up, and they think it's a fair deal. So okay, yeah. All I ever heard was THT for everybody. THT for anyone's best player. He's the best. Come on, man. THT. We'll throw THT in there. Too many fouls. Refs sucked a bit. They missed a few open ones. I think the one that PJ argued that Giannis did that spin that they had the audio of. I think that was an offensive foul. I think that traveling that they missed where he threw the ball to himself and caught it with an air ball, another one they missed. But overall, it was encouraging.
I would say that I thought that one was a travel when they said it was ended up being the ball came out, slipped out of his hands, up and over.
Yeah. I know.
That one shocked me because they hit a 3 after that.
Yeah.
And even in that game, they overturned 2 calls.
I didn't really have a question with the calls. Like I thought that, like I didn't have a problem with the calls they made on that. Like I could see it going the way they said it, and I could see it going either way. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think it was like clear this is a charge or clear this is a block. Like I thought what they called I was fine with it, but I wasn't fine with that shot, and he lost the ball, but he lost the ball shooting it. He didn't just lose the ball dribbling it.
Yeah, I know. Overall, watching the game, I just realized that I'd like to see us use this time to just kind of evaluate what we need as our next step, right? Like we're an incomplete team. We've said that this entire offseason. We're an incomplete team. So this is our team right now, plus whoever we get in a trade through assets or whatnot, right? So what do we need? That's how I'll be watching these games for the most part. Like just trying to pinpoint what's the kind of player that we really need to bring to this team to level up. I'm not going to say I'm looking for negative, although I kind of am, but we're in a unique position where we're on the brink of gaining assets and then trading for a possible all-star player. And when you're in that kind of position, take this time to deep dive to see exactly the kind of player you need to go after. If that guy's available, you jump on it. So I think it's overall a good start to the season. I think it's a great start to Nurse's coaching career in Philadelphia, though. It's encouraging for him, and the players get to see early on, like, oh man, like this is good, this is working, right? So overall,
also let's give Tobias Harris his flowers. 8 of 9 last night, 20 points, 3 for 3 from downtown. Made the most of his 9 field goal attempts.
But like we said, 9 shots. That's not a lot.
That's what I see with Tobias. On the day that he has it going and missing 1 shot, he only get 9 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Like that last 3 he had in the fourth, I was like, I don't even remember Tobias' last shot in this game.
Yeah.
Was the 3 his last shot?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that was his last shot. But even before that, I was like, what? I don't remember him shooting before
the
this.
shot before that? No, he had a shot. It kind of rolled in.
Oh, the front rim, like bouncing
Yes.
one? Yeah. I think you're right about that.
I think that was his one before that.
And he had that one on the same possession as the one that Embiid threw away. Him and Embiid had like a pick and roll where he rolled off. And then Tobias started going to the rim and looked like he got frustrated. I couldn't tell you who he was getting frustrated with. And then he threw it back to Embiid, and Embiid threw it away on that possession. I like to go back and watch that because he was pissed off and mouthing off to somebody about not doing something. I wonder.
Somebody probably didn't execute the play correctly.
Yeah.
But about Kelly Oubre, so Kelly Oubre's 27 points are the most ever scored by a Sixers reserve in the team's season opener. Maurice Spates had 26 October 2009.
Ooh,
yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah. During last night after the game, Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer, he tweeted, the Sixers look really, really good, and especially for that reason, they should be patient in finding the proper return for James Harden. They can't settle when the right package could put them back in the title conversation. Daryl Morey liked the tweet after the game. Well, what do you guys think about that? Do you think this kind of prolongs the James Harden wait for the best trade opportunity? I mean, seeing our team fight against.
I mean, you can do that, but it don't make you better right now. I mean, people talking about the Sixers look great and we lost.
Yeah.
So we into how we look, and are we on trying to win a championship? Like, I get it. You probably look better because the expectations were lower because of the cloud and because of James. Yeah. But you still lost the game.
Yeah. Yeah, we lost with Oubre and Harris going 17 of 20.
And we lost.
Yeah. So, although it's encouraging, you still look at it and go.
Maxey getting 31. Maxey scoring 31. 8 assists, no turnovers. We lost the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see what he's saying, though.
I just don't see how that can get people enthusiastic.
Yeah.
For waiting for a trade. Like, come on, man.
I see what you're saying.
But they talk about the James stuff the whole game.
I know they do. Well, that's going to happen. That's not going to stop.
I mean, they're investigating. They talk about it. They're investigating. They did all this stuff. So it's like the whole. We think that's just going to disappear and go away?
No.
I mean, they said the league is looking into why he's not playing.
I think it's reasonable why he's not playing, though, right?
Why?
He's probably practiced with the team for the past 2 weeks. You can't just go to an NBA game and play. Play.
You can. Yes, you can.
So if you were the NBA and I called you and I was like, "Look, man, I don't want him to pull his hamstring and then now we can't trade him to the Clippers anymore and we're screwed."
Yeah, but that's not a reason for why he can't play.
Not being in shape?
So who says he's not in shape?
Not in game shape.
I mean, he Embiid hadn't practiced. He hadn't say anything.
He was out of shape.
He was out of shape. He's out of shape.
He played in the preseason game, though.
He's out of shape.
But it's optics, right? He played in our last preseason game.
Okay.
It's more than
you said he looked tired. You said that.
He did. They all look tired. It's the first game. It's 4 preseason games.
Okay, so my point is, if you feel that you're worried about him in his conditioning, then play him less. Not play him at all. That's how you do. You manage his minutes. You cut his minutes.
I don't see why he couldn't travel and sit on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. They didn't want him there. He could have done the same thing he wanted to do. It's the NBA, man. You want the guy wants to be on the trip. He's not coming off an injury where all of the proper equipment that he needs to rehab is at the facility, and you can't really do it in the hotel or at a visiting arena. He's just a guy that's just hadn't been there, but it's not a rehab thing. So whatever he did, trust me, he could have done on the road.
He's coming off hurt feelings, though.
I mean, from what I read, he was going to visit his ailing mother. That's what they said. So
I meant the whole offseason.
I'm just saying that I'm just talking about the last 2 weeks of missing training camp. So if he didn't ask for a trade and he said, and the story came out that he was with his ailing mother, this would be a non-topic of him missing time. It would be a non-topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now since the other stuff is there, it's like it's fake.
Well, if you're about to trade a guy, are you a little more cautious on what you're putting him through in a game before you get to trade him, though?
Man, I understand that, but all I'm saying is from a league perspective, you can't do that anymore. If a player just can't not show up for games, then you can just not play him for no reason and tell him to stay away. It goes both ways.
Especially it's nationally televised games. They're really scrutinizing, right?
So a guy gets in trouble for not playing, then you probably get in trouble for not allowing them to join the team and not play.
Well, I heard him and Morey had a wink deal for him not to come on the plane.
No, but I'm just saying. So from James' perspective, if he was told to stay away, then what is the league going to say to the? What's the team going to say to the league? We want him to get ready because he wasn't there.
Yeah. But look, what I would say, look, it's a weird situation.
Yeah, but that's why they asked him not to come, because it looks worse if he's there and don't play versus not there.
Yes, that's true. They also probably didn't want any kind of like, just in case he did try to be unprofessional while there, a distraction. They just maybe just like, you know what, let's just play like these first 2 games without you around, just to kind of get the season started at least, and then you can just come on back. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out Sunday because our home opener. I mean, he's gonna have to be at the home opener because they said it was only the first 2 games, so that means Sunday is going to be the. Yeah.
You have no excuse at that point. And he can't log a few minutes against the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He can play 15, 20 minutes in that game, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
The way Maxey played last night also adds to this conversation of maybe not trying to either get rid of James now or keeping him away from the team to find out the best possible package, because the way he played last night, the fast movement kind of benefits Maxey's play, not really James Harden's play. In Maxey's game last night, 31 points, Eric mentioned it, 8 assists, 0 turnovers as the primary ball handler last night. So my question to you guys, what impressed you the most about Maxey's performance last night? And they asked Embiid after the game what impressed him the most, and he said the 0 turnovers being like the first time being like the guy. Well, yeah, what did you see, Eric, that you saw? What did you see from Maxey last night that impressed you so much?
I think the turnovers were a combination of him still being aggressive, but being even more under control. And I think that's a big reason for why he was turnover free. His decision making was better. Didn't take many chances. Kind of let the game come to him. But that comes with experience too. I mean, he was solid, played well. I think the way he's playing, the amount of minutes he's playing, I would like to see the assists even higher. For me to ultimately buy into him being the primary ball handler, no matter what happens, because I still think some more plays are going to need to be made, for other guys to be more successful and for the game to be easier for other guys. I still think it needs to come more from Maxey making plays and Joel from scoring and playing off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little. I mean, even though he was getting the assist, I think I saw a little better 2-man game towards the end. Him and Joe had a couple of nice pick and rolls toward the end of the game that was a little more encouraging, at least moving forward for them too. It'll take some time, right? But 8-0 assist to turnover ratio is awesome. I love that even when sometimes he seems quietly, he's not putting his massive print. He doesn't seem to get down. He just seems to keep going, and then all of a sudden you look at his stats, you're like, he's got 20 and 5. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. Like it's like a lightning that just keeps like leaking out of the bottle until it just gets out there. He looks like he's ready for another jump. One of the most impressive things, 10 free throw attempts last night. Do you know how many times he shot 10 free throws in a game last season? Do you guys want to guess?
2?
Eric?
Less than 4.
0.
Huh. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. If I think about it, if you think about him not being the primary ball handler and not the primary scorer, that's not shocking. But
so
but no games is, it's hard to do. But it's not hard to do if you're usually catching and shooting. He did more catch and shoot threes or jump shots than he did really attack. Most of his attacking came in transition with unbalanced defense.
Yeah. Well, you say that, yet like I think Lillard had like 15 free throws off of jump shots. So,
yeah.
I guess it just depends who you are.
Yeah, I mean, but they're also you also have a guy that's one crafty in getting those shots off and people closing out hard to him, and you have people that close out hard to him that don't traditionally guard perimeter players a lot. So a lot of guys is trying to block his shot or trying to contest his shot, and all of a sudden he stops and he's raising up before the even contact comes. But a lot of that comes with being a little crafty and being able to take a chance. Most guys don't want to waste a shot attempt thinking that they won't call the foul. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to throw this ball up here. He made one. He got an and one.
I know he did. And the other one he made, they waved off because they said it was on the floor, thank goodness. One of those looked like one of those awkward jumps, though, you jump into somebody that they said they're going to stop giving calls to offensive players on. But
yeah, I mean, it's a difference between jumping into someone and then jumping into the direction of someone, but don't make contact. So if you're jumping into the direction and they're still moving into you, that's a foul. It's like he didn't jump into them while they're standing still and they're in a basketball position. That's the difference in the call. If he can move towards you, but if you move in also, then it's majority of the time it's going to be a foul on you, on the defender.
Him being crafty, I mean, that's, it's just, yeah. With how well you play, do you think the Sixers brass, they're in like no rush to have Harden back? Do you think it would also kind of screw up Maxey's flow to give him like the keys and then all of a sudden be like, no, you're not driving today. You know what I mean?
I think if they had their wish, they would sit James out until they traded him.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
If you're not going to trade him, you got to play him. And that's what the league wanted. Wanted guys to play. So it's like this is the other side of wanting guys to play.
Yeah.
The winning the guys that play. So now when the guy you want to stay away wants to play, there's nothing you can do.
Who would have thought Harden causing the most damage by wanting to play in games?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like damage. Like I think if he plays, he'll play well.
No, I don't mean damage in that regard.
I know what you mean. It's just a matter of, come on now, it's not going anywhere. This isn't how it's going to end. Like, why are we doing this?
Well, especially they're not even talking about trades anymore.
The Clippers have said, "Hey, man, you know what? We good."
Yeah,
and because the season started, they're saying that we good now.
Yeah,
we ain't trying to go into. We not their incentive and their motivation is different than the Sixers. They were trying to get it done before, where the Sixers are like, "We'll wait."
Yeah.
But like someone said recently, the more games that go by, the less incentive they have because it might only be a 1-year deal. So what? I'm going to make this trade with assets for 60 games of Harden now? Like,
yes,
no. So
I think now he goes to a team that's just like shedding salary. Chicago.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Comes
That's
into players.
that's the newest rumor. They have the second highest odds to get him outside of the Clippers.
Yeah, I asked a good friend of mine that's from Chicago and Bulls fan. I said, would y'all give a Zach for James and whatever else? And he was like, I would. But he's not really a Zach. He's not high on Zach as high as other people are. But I was like, yeah, okay. I'm just
There's
asking.
a big split with those fans. Some are like, no, Levine could still be like a superstar, and or other ones are just like, yeah, give us a fresh start, man. They're more into the shedding the salary. They don't want that contract anymore.
Yes, I believe that's the only way we get him because of that.
Plus, if you're Chicago and you want to shed salary but still sell tickets, James Harden's not a bad guy to acquire in that deal.
Yeah,
he's still an exciting player, so you'll still have people will still buy those jerseys even if it's for 1 year. So it's like you'll still do well in the seat department. So yeah,
I mean, James will still put up some numbers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James DeRozan and Vooch is not a bad three to have on your team. That's still a playoff team.
Yeah,
they might even get better. Some redundancy with Levine and DeRozan. At least you got a guy who averages 11 assists passing the ball off. And
they're different. They're different.
A pick and roll game with Vooch and Harden would be nice too.
Yeah. Yeah, and Chicago's already having players only meetings after their first loss. I mean, so there's
48 minutes. Yeah,
it's crazy. So yeah, we could get our Zach LaVine to Philly. Wish we've been talking about for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Do you think like the Morey that's one of the targets?
Do I think that's one of his targets?
Yeah,
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Yeah,
like I don't know why. If you hear the rumors, why you wouldn't make a call? Like,
yeah. Unless he's like just delusional and he thinks like he can get Donovan Mitchell or something.
No, if you're making that call, you got to make Zach's an all-star too.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean you make it for Donovan Mitchell but not him?
Yeah,
I don't get that.
And we have been hearing all-star level guard is what.
yes.
So
yeah,
Yes, he checks off all the boxes.
yeah, he does. I think him and Maxey would be a decent fit in the backcourt.
Yeah.
Yes.